the JFK movie was made, and I saw the connections. Wasn't it an Israeli spy that made the movie? Or
can you even use the word spy to a guy who admits he's a spy? Like, I don't even know that anymore, because we're talking about Arnon Milchan. Arnon Milchan is the guy who was the executive producer of JFK. He also produced the Nixon movie for Oliver Stone. He's done a ton of movies. He's actually done some really good modern movies.
Yeah.
He's made some great movies, but nonetheless, he's a lifetime Mossad agent who used to run a company in the United States that employed Benjamin Netanyahu. And together they stole and exported Kryton nuclear triggers, which is Israel to this day, they deny that they have a nuclear program.
Yeah, but it's well known and documented they do. This is like common knowledge. It's not speculation. It's like known.
Right. And if people doubt that, they can look into the Vela incident, which is when they actually tested their bombs in the 1970s. And a nuclear reaction went off in the Atlantic Ocean, and everyone's like, "Oh, what happened? I wonder." You know.
But it's so crazy. They make this film and they blame the CIA and the mob, but they don't say which mafia, and they completely leave out all potential Mossad ties. It's like it's like a misdirection.
Correct.
Because it's obvious that something, the JFK, if you start digging, it's obvious. You know, like I did a little digging last night, things like the magic bullet, you know, and not trying to get too off track where you were, but it's just like, I think that's kind of tied in because he's shot, just real quick. He was shot, they say one bullet, and there's 7 infantry wounds between him and the, who else was shot with him?
John Connally. John Connally is the governor of Texas. Kennedy went to Texas in the first place because he wanted to kind of mend relationships down there, but he was also invited to attend the Albert Thomas dinner, which happened the night before in Houston, and he was invited by Jack Valenti.
The same guy who you believe did the shooting.
Absolutely. Jack Valenti ran a kind of a PR/advertising firm called Weekly and Valenti down in Houston. It opened in 1953. Before that, he worked for Humble Oil, where he worked directly with George Bush, Prescott Bush, George de Mohrenschildt. He actually got a job there when he was 16 years of age, and he was a hall boy, which is kind of like a messenger. And from there, he basically grew in the company to be the head of sales and marketing for Humble. And then he ends up leaving in 53 to open Weekly and Valenti. So Weekly and Valenti by 1960. Well, let me back up a little bit. In 1956, he crosses paths with Lyndon Johnson, and he becomes Lyndon Johnson's more than best friend.
He was tied close to Lyndon Johnson.
He was. Let me put it this way. He was intimately close to Johnson. Okay. Yeah. So in 56, they become friends, like his right-hand man, basically. By 60, Valenti had pretty much handled all of LBJ's campaigning, and he handled Kennedy's 1960 campaign. Okay. So Jack Valenti is an extremely important person, extremely well embedded in this establishment